Hello! Morning, everyone!
There we are. You've now popped up on mine.
Now, where are the comments?
Try it from the side.
Morning, everyone. Anyone there? Hi, Carolyn.
Morning, Carolyn.
How are you? Now that light's in the way a bit there, isn't it? Let's move that down a bit. Don't want it to be too glary. Morning, Beverly.
Morning, Bev. Morning, Alison.
How are you? Hi, Alison. Say hello, everyone, if you're on.
Or type in hello, so Gavin knows.
Yes, don't say hello, because I won't be able to hear you. And if you can share this, please, on your timelines, Ian, and invite anyone that you think might be interested. Invite people as well. That would be fabulous. Thank you very much. Don't know why that delays so much, that music. Seems to do a lot of thinking. How is everyone today? Are you all well? Morning, Donna. Are you excited? I am. I think everything's plugged in as well, so... Oh, yeah, it was all right. Thank you, Alison. Just like any other day, really, this year. I was making lots of flowers, actually, funnily enough, on Easter Sunday.
Morning, Tess.
Morning, Mikey.
Morning, Mike.
How are you?
Morning.
Hello, Karen. Did everyone have a good Easter? Do anything nice? Did you eat lots of chocolate? I didn't eat any chocolate on Easter Sunday. I had some yesterday, though. Because Ian bought some Easter eggs in Aldi that were like 40p each, I think. Woohoo! Oh, let me just plug myself in. Excuse the wobble. I don't want to get a flat battery. Morning, Jeanette. How are you? Jeanette is our lovely Crafters Companion rep. So she's on this morning as well. Thank you. Hi, Carl. Yeah, I had lots of fun playing with the flower forming foam. I love that word, that phrase, flower forming foam. Say that really quickly when you've had a few drinks. So let's make a start, shall we? I'm going to get really hot today because I've got the iron next to me here. If you can see that, and it's pumping out lots of lots of hotness. So I may be stripping off later. Right, so I'm going to be showing you flower forming foam from Crafter's Companion. All the products, yeah, it's my favourite as well, Jeanette. It's fabulous. So all the products, or most of the products that we're using today, or variations of, are on our website. So I posted a link in the bottom of the comments. I pinned that there. So if you want to have a look at what we've got, see any of the prices or place any orders, you can click on that link and it will take you straight to our website, to that section there. Hello Sue, how are you? So I'm hoping to do a load today. So I've got a couple of these dies. Although they are specifically designed for flower forming foam, you don't have to use them just for flower forming foam. You can use them for normal card making, to make card paper flowers and all that sort of stuff. I think the reason that they are designed for the flower forming foam is because they have these extra long cut edges, so it makes it much easier to form the flowers into the shapes that you want them to be. So I've got, this one is the Peony, which is lovely. And these flowers over here have all been done with the Peony dies. Yes, all of those have been done with the Peony. It's amazing. This one is the Daisy. It's the 3D layered Daisy. So you get 3 dies in that one as well. And I have made these ones with the Daisy. None of them really look like daisies, apart from maybe that one. But they all look fab anyway, I think. I love them. And then the last one I've got is the 3D layered rose, which is that one. And those flowers I made with that. So look at that, isn't that pretty? Just a nice little... You probably can use some normal dies as well, Alison. Hi Joyce. Yeah, but these dies, as I said, they've got an extra cut area. I mean, there's no stopping you from, if you've got a die that's just got the outer bit, then getting a pair of scissors and adding an extra cut that goes further in. But they do tend to need a bit of an extra sort of a slit to be able to make the individual petals work properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to cut a piece of the flower forming foam. So on our website we've got various packs of the flower forming foam. How many times am I going to say flower forming foam today, I wonder? Sorry, there's a cat in the garden I'm looking at. So we've got a set from the Lily collection. I think you get 9 pieces in that. You get 3 of the white, 3 of the pink, pale pink, and 3 of the pale green. There's also one from the Garden of Love collection, which I haven't got. And then we've also got Crafter's Companion flower forming foam. This is 7 sheets of just white. They also do a pack of, I think it's Floral Bouquet, which has got some nice sort of pastel-y colours in. And then they also do one, can't remember what it's called, but it is, it's got more sort of it's the fern and foliage one, so it's got green, pale greens and things like that in it. So my main preference has been the white, only because you can, I think the only flowers that, I think all of these flowers over here, all the peony ones, they were all made using the white flower forming foam. And then I think, yep, those ones there, the rose ones, they were all done with the white. The only one I used the pink on was the daisy, ironically enough, because you would have thought you would have white daisies really, but there we are. But who cares, eh? So yeah, so those were done with the pink, but the other ones were done with the white. So the white is probably the most versatile, but the other colours are also really good for making, you know, you can do some really nice two-tone things, two-tone flowers. Morning, Delia. Who else is on? Hi, Amanda. Hi, John. Morning, Dawn. No worries. We haven't really started yet. I've just been chatting away as usual. So I'm going to just clear some of these away, some of these flowers away for the moment. Just push them all up here. I'm trying to keep them all separate so I know which one is which. That one I love this. Pretty. This one I actually did with, it was a bit of an experiment I did with some of the gilding polish from Creative Expressions. I thought I'd see how that works with it. It works, it does make the petals go a little hard, but you still get quite a nice effect. It does blend quite nicely. But I love the stamens in this because I glittered the stamens. I just thought they needed to have a bit of glitter on them. So the stamens, again, they do sell, Crafts Companion do sell packs of different coloured stamens. I've just got the white ones, and all of these flowers are made with the white stamens. So I just colour them myself because that's the most versatility, I think. So those are the only ones that we're actually stocking at the moment. If anyone does want any of the other ones, I think they do a pack of pastel ones and they do a pack of metallic ones. But you can colour them yourself, so I tend to do that really. And you get 400 in a pack, and I think they're £4, something like that. So that'll last you for ages. I think I've used, in these flowers, I've used just under 2 bunches so far. So I'm just going to grab a piece of the white flower forming foam. Really, it's mad how thin this is, ridiculously thin. Crazy. But it's thin, but it is very durable. I mean, obviously, if you pull it too hard, it'll rip. But it's pretty tough stuff. So move these out of the way. So the first thing you need to do, it comes in A4 sheets, and with all of these dies you can cut 4 layers at once. So all you need to do is fold it in half, like so, and then fold it in half again, so there's your 4 layers. Ooh, 23 people on. Say hello everyone, if you want to shout out, or if you don't, just put a thumbs up. There we are. So I've got there's my 4 layers, and I think I will cut, I've got quite a lot of the peonies, so I shall cut some of the roses, I think. Loving the new packaging, by the way, with Crafter's Companion. They're doing, this is card, so this is recyclable. I think, as far as I'm aware, I think Jeanette said that the plastic window in there is also recyclable. I think it's made from recycled somethings, which is good. So we like that. So I'm going to be using the ground caliber, just because that's the one that I've got here. but that goes through all die cutting machines. I think it goes through the Gemini Mini, because I think the width is narrow enough for the Gemini Mini. Big Shot, Gemini Junior, obviously the Gemini Senior. So basically any die cutting machine. There we are. So I'm just going to put that on there, face down. So I'm cutting into the mid plate. I always cut face down. Put that on there, and I shall be back in 2 seconds. Hello, Jenny. I cut face down too. Ah. Yeah, I find it easier. Hi, Barbara in Newbridge. How are you? Hi, Dania. This is so like Blue Peter. Other television programs are available. So, one thing I would advise as well, when you're cutting your flowers through your machine, the first time I did it, I thought, oh, it's not going to cut through 4 layers particularly well. I'll go through and then I'll come back again. So I did that, and it ended up, something moved, and it ended up with little snaggy bits all around it, which I had to clean up. So this is just one pass through the machine, and as you can see, it's cut them all fine. No problem at all. So, so now I've got 4 layers. So all you need to do is separate the 4 layers apart. This is probably the most difficult bit, really, is getting these apart. Sometimes if they're really awkward, you can just sort of grab them with your nails and pull them apart. As you can see, you don't have to be too gentle with them. So that's my middle ones. I might need some more of those. I've already got some cut anyway, but I might just do some more of the middle size, just to make sure I've got enough. Will I be able to squeeze? I try and squeeze it in as tightly as I can. Will I get another one of those in there? Probably not. So try and maximize the usage. So there we are. So I've got some more there. Just separate these ones apart as well. And then I'm using an iron when it comes to heating them. I've got an iron which is on here, just a normal everyday iron. And I've got it set onto the cotton setting, which seems to work fine for me. Everyone's very quiet. Are you all okay? Carolyn, can you colour the foam? Oh yes. That's what I've done with all of these. All coloured. Well, apart from that one. Yeah, so I'll be showing you all sorts of different ways of colouring them. So there's basically 3 different techniques. Just get my tools in. So these ones over here beautifully show the 3 different techniques. So this one is, this is what Sarah calls the bubble technique. So it gives like a bubble sort of finish to the petals. So that's the first one I'm going to show you. And then the second one is sort of more of a bud technique. So the only flower I didn't do the bud technique on was the daisy. But that was the peony, and that was the rose. The rose was really did the bud really lovely. It just was really effortless. And I love the variation in the colouring as well. Really nice. So that's that one. And then the final technique, which I think is my absolute favourite, is the what they call it, distressed. It's the distressed technique. So these, I did it on all 3. That was the rose. That was the daisy, which came up fab. And then that was the peony, which is really nice as well. So these were all done with the distress technique, which is my favourite technique. And that's where you need the distress, the petal distressing tool, which is this. So you get the rubber mat with the rough grid on it, and then you also get the finger protectory thing, which goes across there. So we'll be doing that in a minute. We have still got some of those on the website, and I'm also going to be using the moulding tools, which are really nice. You get 3 moulding tools, different sizes, different size balls, which is always good. And they're really sturdy as well. Really well made, really sturdy. When you lift them up, you can feel the quality in there. So you get some little ones and you get some big ones. It's the tends to be the big ones and maybe one of the little ones that I tend to use in this, but you can use all of these in your other card making techniques as well. And then you get the foam as well, a big thick sheet of foam. So those come in your moulding ball tool set. No comments from anyone? All very quiet today? Is it because you're all watching with bated breath? So the first thing I'm going to do is the bubble technique. So I shall bring my iron in so that you can see it a bit better. Try not to burn myself. Although I tend not to burn myself on the iron, it's more the glue gun I tend to burn myself on, which is typical. So I'm going to start off with, I usually tend to start off with the smallest size first of all. The reason being that, like for this one for example, the smallest one is at the top, then you've got the middle one, and then the largest one is at the back. So it just works easier, it's easier to work from the front backwards. So I'm just going to do the technique without colouring first of all, just so you can see that. So then I'm just going to have one of my ball tools. I'll go for the smaller one, I think. And then, hi Lisa. I never iron anything anyway. And then all you need to do is, you all see that okay? This, when it goes onto the iron, it starts to form, and you'll see. And all I do is I put it onto the iron, and I tend to wiggle the ball tool around a little bit, and then let it drop off. And then once it's dropped off, open up the petals, put it onto your foam, and push your tool down so it squashes in, and then as it cools, the petals will stay where they are. So it's important to form it as soon as it's been heated on the iron. Don't do a batch and then expect to be able to form it afterwards, because that won't work. So there we are. So there's my little baby one. And that's formed now. So that's going to stay in that shape. Okay. So that's my little baby one. So then I'll go for one of the medium-sized ones. Back on the iron. Give it a few wiggles. Let it drop off. Open it out. Squash it down. Leave it to cool for a little bit. See, so easy. So easy. There we are. So there's my second layer. And then one of the big ones. Onto my iron. Give it a few wiggles. And then when you're ready, just let it drop off. Open out the petals. Hold the ball tool. Push it down. So you can push it down quite a way, so it squashes into the foam. And leave it to cool. And the foam isn't hot. As soon as it's come off the iron, it's not going to burn your fingers, so don't worry about that. There we are. So there's my third one. It's fab, isn't it? And now that is the shape it is going to stay. Okay. So, let me iron out the way. So the next thing I tend to do is get one of my pokey tools. This is one of the Crafter's Companion pokey tools. They do a set of 2 pokey tools, and they're only like, I don't know, they're not very expensive. I think I've put those on the website as well. So I tend to use that because it's got quite a thick, what's the word? Barrel. So you need that for when it comes to threading your stamens through. So all I tend to do is, to get them ready, is just stick my pokey tool through the first one, through the second one, and then through the third one. Bit of an offset if you can, and I just stick it in my foam and leave it in the foam while I'm sorting out my stamens. So I'll just leave that to one side for a moment. And then with regard to the stamens, like I said, I just use the white stamens, and I tend to use about 5 or 6. They're double-ended, double-sided, and I use about 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just go for 5 this time. 5 is more than adequate. 5 or 6 is fine. And then because they're white, you can either leave them white, like I've done on some of these flowers, which just looks quite nice. But obviously if you want to colour them, there's loads of different ways of colouring them. You can use alcohol pens, like for example the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend pens, or the classic pens, or the illustrators, any of those. Or if you've got any other alcohol pens, you can use those. That's fine. I've also used a lot of different inks. So my favourite at the moment are the Harmony by Spectrum Noir opaque pigment inks, which are amazing. I absolutely love these. We've literally just placed an order with Jeanette for the full range of these inks. Really nice, some lovely colours. They're very similar to Distress Oxides, so they are a pigment ink, and they've got a sort of a chalky finish to them. But they do work really nice. If I show you, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera, but this flower was coloured using the opaque pigment ink. I think I coloured the stamens and the petals with that ink, so it's quite a strong colour, but it does blend really nicely as well. You know, you can see that it's a lovely soft blend on the petals, so it looks really natural. Whereas this one, I used one of the water reactive dye-based inks, which was that one. So these ones, I don't know if you can see, but it's a bit more, it's a nice finish, but it's a bit more of a subtle finish. It's not quite as opaque as that one. It's a bit more translucent. So where was that from? There and there. Yeah, so that's those. So I think I'll go for the purple actually. I do like the purple. Crushed velvet. So all I do is I use a finger dauber. You can use a finger dauber, you can use a smoothie, you can use an ink blending tool. You could probably use a brush if you wanted to as well. The first ones that I did actually colour with the alcohol pens. So this one, for example, was coloured with the citrus yellow, I think it was, in the alcohol pens. The only thing is it's just a bit more fiddly because it's just got a fine point on it, and you've got to sort of just colour it in. So obviously you've got to scribble on the tips, whereas with this you've got a nice big chunky dauber, and it's just a case of blobbing it on. So I'm going to do that, and then as I said, there's two ends, white blobby bits on both ends. That's a technical term. And then all I do is just, I tend to hold one end and then just dab and turn like that. So it just coats the tip of the stamen in the ink. Turn it around and then repeat on the other side. Don't take too long to dry. They're pigment inks, but and I tend to just sort of leave them on the corners of my foam as well. Anyone got any questions? If I can't answer it, then I'm sure Jeanette will be able to, who's our Crafter's Companion rep, who I think is watching as well. Doop-a-doop-doo. Anyone doing anything nice today? Bit of gardening, although it's a bit fresh out there today. It's nice and sunny, but fresh. Big thank you to everyone who is supporting us at the moment as well. We had loads of orders, loads of web orders that we had to pick yesterday, and then we had lots of customers coming to collect their orders via contactless pickup. And we also did some local deliveries and some postal deliveries as well. So it's all good. Keeps us going. Dawn, I think they do have some leaf dyes. I don't think we've actually got any. You could use any leaf dye really. If it's a solid leaf, you could use that with the flower forming foam. But I will have to see if there are any nice leaf dyes that have been specifically designed for the flower forming foam. So nearly done. One more to do. See, it's nice and quick and easy doing it this way. If you're colouring them in with the alcohol pens, it tends to take a bit longer. There we are, so there's those are they. And the other thing I tend to do as well is if I'm colouring, like for example with this one, oops, if I'm colouring the foam and then going to be colouring the stamens in the same colour, you can do those both at the same time. So that just saves a bit of time, and especially while you've got a bit of ink on your mat, it saves wasting your ink as well. But because I've just left that white, I will just clean this up now quickly. And these are water-based inks, so quick squirt with my spritzer bottle and then wipe it off with my lovely clean rag. There we are, nice and clean and tidy, and no ink on my fingers at the moment as well, which is a good thing. Right, so then with regard to assembling your stamens, I watched Sarah's demos on Facebook, and she recommended using some, I think it was 28 gauge wire to keep your stamens together, and then it makes it easier to push them through. I thought, oh, I'll try it without the wire. Tried it without the wire, and it just doesn't work. So you do need something to be able to push it through the hole in the middle of your flowers. So I came up with this amazing idea of using an extremely expensive piece of equipment called a paper clip. And all I did was I just unfolded it like that. So I got, it's quite well actually, works quite well with one long end and one shorter end. And then all I do is I pick up my stamens. Like that. Roughly in line with each other, although, you know, this is nature, doesn't have to be exact. And then I just pop my paper clip in roughly in the middle, fold the stamens together like that, and then I tend to, you'll find your own way of doing this, but I tend to hold the stamens in my right hand, grab my flower, and then I get my finger right in the center of the hole so that I can support all of the three different layers, pull out my pokey tool, and then push the paper clip through the hole in the middle till it comes out the back, and then I just pull the stamens through the middle and then just pull them down as far as I want them to go. So, ooh, that looks really nice, doesn't it? You can pull them right down, you can leave them up so they're stuck out a lot. I tend to like to bring them in a bit further so they're not too stuck out. And then once they're through the back, like that, then I just take my paper clip off, and then I can reuse that. And then I get my hot glue gun, and then just put a little bit of glue around the very base, just around there, and then with the stringy bit I tend to wrap that around the base. And there we are, stuck a bit there. Otherwise you get all sorts of stringy bits all over the place, which I hate. I've still got a bit of stringy bit there as well. There we are, so then leave that to cool for a little bit. Don't stick your fingers in the glue like I've just done.
Can you use a heat tool?
There we are. And then that's my finished flower. What does everyone think? Hi Deborah. Do you like? Pretty, isn't it? Oh, the inks are on their way, Jeanette says. Fabulous. Hi Sandra. Hi Leighton. Oh, glitter pens as well. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Oh, I think we've only got the clear glitter pen. Donna's apparently asked a question, but it hasn't come up on my thing.
It might come up on my live party. I don't know, Donna. I'll go and get my heat gun now and I'll have a go with a bit.
What was the question?
Heat tool. Can you use a heat tool?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
It's probably too direct.
No, I wouldn't use a heat tool.
It's probably too fierce.
Use an iron. Everyone's got an iron, and if you haven't, get a cheapy one.
Heat tool is probably too fierce.
But yeah, an iron would be the best thing to use. I wouldn't use a heat tool because you're not going to get a general heat, and it's only for a few seconds anyway, so it's going to end up blowing around all over the place, and you'll end up making a horrible mess. So no, I wouldn't recommend a heat tool. I don't know why that didn't come up on my... Hello Ruth, how are you? Did it come on? Are you having a watch party or something?
Yeah.
Oh well, it needs to come up on my comments. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't see it. Right, so that is the bubble technique, and then I'm going to try doing the second technique, which is the little bud. A bit like a peony, but this is a rose. So this one you could actually... I haven't actually tried it yet. If I have time, I may do it today. But the rose on the picture of this die, it does actually looks like it does start off with that and then ends up with the bubble technique. So those seem to sort of layer on top of each other to form more of a rose finished flower. So for this one, I'm going to do a bit of colouring as well, just because. So I'm going to get... So again, I need a large, a medium and a small. So these sheets of foam are going to last you for ages, and you'll be able to do loads and loads of flowers without any trouble. Yes, I think I'll go from the tips again. So which colour shall I use for this? I might go for yellow actually. What's this one? Oh, this is the water reactive one. Oh, that's a shame. I don't want to go for purple again. I'll go for the water reactive one. This is water reactive dye ink pad. This is the lemon tonic one. So all I'm going to do is ink up around the edges of my petal. And you can ink up just around the edges, or you can ink up the whole flower. If you want to change the colour of the whole flower, you can do that. And the colour of the ink does seem to intensify with on the foam. Once you heat it, it does tend to intensify it a bit. Actually, I think, yeah, that one was done. Yeah, that one was the yellow, I think, the same colour yellow. So you can see it's a bit stronger on there. So just go around the edges there. For this one, I'm only going on one side as well. You can colour both sides of the petals if you want. But for this one, I'm just going to colour the one side. Can you use watercolour pens? Caroline's asking. Yes, I don't see why not. If you can use the glitter pens are water-based. So, yeah, I don't think... No, I haven't tried the watercolour pens, but you can use You can use more or less anything really. You can use watercolour pens, you can use the glitter pens, you can use alcohol pens, you can use dye-based inks, you can use pigment inks. I've tried gilding polish, which was that one that I showed earlier, which came out a bit crispy, but it does work. So that was the graphite, I think it was, gilding polish. So that works. It does make the petals go a bit more crispy, but it's, you know, if that's not a problem, then go for it.
I've left the watch part. I finished it.
Yeah, because it's confusing, that is, if... And my music has stopped again. For some strange reason. I don't know. There we are. So there's my 3 petals coloured with my ink. And then while I'm here, I always get the yellow on my fingers. Looks like I'm a heavy smoker. While I'm here, I'm going to colour the stamens as well. Might as well. So just dab the ink on all the way around. Hold the one end.
I like the watercolour pens.
That's one. I could spend, well, I do spend hours playing with these flowers.
Sure you did yesterday?
I did on Sunday anyway.
Oh, Sunday,
That's number 2.
Alexa, resume.
I'm not sure what went wrong.
Oh, she's having a funny 5 minutes again. Don't worry about it. It's a shame Facebook Lives aren't two-way or whatever, because then you could all sing to me. I'm sure you've got all got lovely voices. Yeah, so I'll go for 5 again. Hello Diane, how are you? Haven't seen you for ages. You got your Christmas decorations up yet? There we are, so that's that done. So I tend to use a different dauber with a different set of colours. So I've got one for my yellows, one for my purples, one for my blues. So then I'm just going to clean that up. And so then I'm going to get my foam back in, and then I'm going to start with my smallest one, bring the iron back in again, and then this time I'm going to use, with these ones I tend to use the 3 biggest ball tools. So you've got the huge one, the next one down, and then the slightly smaller one there. So obviously for the smallest bud, I'm going to use the smaller of the 3. So I shall start on that one first of all. And the thing to remember when you've inked as well, if you've only inked one side, is the side that is on the outside is the side that's going to curl in. So that's like, for example, on that one, I ink the outside, and that was the side that curls in. So that's all you need to remember. If in doubt, ink both sides. So that's the one I'm going to curl in. So I'm just going to put it onto my iron. A couple of seconds, knock it off. And then with this one, it tends to form the shape that I want straight away anyway. But just to be doubly sure, I'm just going to push the ball tool in and just leave it to cool for a little bit.
Alexa, play royalty-free music.
Royalty from Apple Music.
Alexa, play royalty-free playlist.
Royalty from music from Apple Music.
There we are. So that's my smallest bud. This is yeah, which one was this from? This was from the Rose. So just so you know, this one is really easy to use when you're doing this technique as well. So then I go for my second ball tool up, just the middle one. Pop that onto my iron, leave it for a few seconds, let it drop off, and then find the middle and then squash it down. Give it a bit of a wiggle.
Alexa, play my royalty-free music.
Okay, here's Flex. Looks like there's a problem with your
Give up.
credentials.
Stop.
Please see the Alexa.
There we are. So that's that one. My second one. And then my largest ball tool. You can sort of see that the colour is intensified a little bit. Well, so pop that onto my iron for a few seconds, let it drop off. You've got my foam to cool. So that's my third petal, or layer of petals. Okay, and then I'm going to get my poker tool.
Alexa, play 1950s music.
I think you just whispered.
Stick that down the middle, and then pierce my second one,
Turn on this domain.
and make sure it slots into
Play
in between
music from Apple Music.
the petals, and then take my third one, and slot that in there. Bit of fluff on there, and then just leave that in my foam for the moment. And then it's just a case of sorting out my stamens, pick them all up, and get my expensive paper clipper, thread it through the middle, fold the stamens in half, grab hold of them, and then get my thumb in there just so I can hold the petals all in place. Take my tool out and then poke it right through the middle, through the hole, till it comes out the back. And then just feed them through. I think that's about as far as I want to go with that. And take my paper clip off, and obviously if you wanted to build it up, you could do more layers. You could do as many layers as you want, really. So then get my glue gun, And then just a little bit of glue just around the very base of the flower. Well, just like that. Hi Lorraine, how are you? Yeah, we don't normally call Alexa that name. We usually call her something else. Oh, she's having a funny 5 minutes again now because I called her by her name. So just leave that to cool. And there is my second flower.
Alexa, resume.
I wonder if it's a connection issue or something. Right out there.
Alexa, play my royalty-free playlist.
What do you think? Does everyone like that?
Stop. Alexa, play 1950s music.
Playing 1950s music.
Oh, she's playing out here again now.
Alexa, stop.
Right, so there we are. So that's the second one. Oh, I've had a love. Did anyone else like that? Oh, Gainer, thank you. Thank you, Donna. You're very quiet today, Donna. Are you engrossed again? Is that what it is? Oh, Wendy Walters. Sorry. I know, it's a pain when that happens, isn't it? You say the magic word and everyone's devices burst into life. Right, so that's the second flower that I've done today in the rose dye. And then the third one I'm going to do is my favourite, which is the distressed petal look. I really like this one. My absolute favourite. That's from there, isn't it? So for this one, I'm going to do the 3-2-1 technique. So 3 of the big petal flowers, 2 of the middle ones, and then 1 of the small ones. Okay, and this is where I'm going to be using my distress tool. I know, it's magic, isn't it, Donna? It's magic! So I'm going to be using this for this technique. So I'm going to give... I'm going to try using Phil's watercolour pens. Obviously you can use any watercolour pens. Crafter's Companion do the aqua markers.
All the sparkle pens.
But I'm going to try these. So, which colour shall I go for? I don't know.
If you have got a clear overlay pen, which is the Crafter's Companion sparkle pen, you can actually dab your ink onto like a mat like this and then pick up with a clear overlay and then add your colour to the edge as well, which means you'll get that sparkle.
That's true. That would be pretty, wouldn't it?
And because it's watercolour, it will dry when you put it onto the iron to heat.
So I think what I'm going to do is use one of my finger daubers.
Can go direct as well.
I could go direct if I wanted to, but I like a nice subtle. I like quite a nice subtle look. I might try both. You never know. Maybe that's going to be too subtle. Yeah, maybe that's going to be too subtle. that's... It does work, but it's just a bit of a faff, I think. Ian's going to have a go now.
Flicking from the edge. And then you get texture. And it doesn't matter about the line because she's scribbling it up anyway.
Yes, I suppose. I could do it quite thick, I suppose, couldn't I?
And you could spritz it lightly with water to make it soften. Which will then blend out the colour. You can put it to the side for a bit.
Yeah, not my favourite.
It will absorb.
And this is
lots
going
of
to take
colour,
blooming ages as well, so I can't be bothered with that, I'm afraid. I haven't got the patience. So Carolyn, yes, you can do it. But
it's more of a faff.
it's not something I can be bothered with at the moment. There we are, so...
Spritz it. Just have a look. Spritz.
I'll go back to me old faithful, I think. So I'll go for my old faithful technique, I think. I'm going to use this one, I think. This is fuchsia. Because I haven't done fuchsia with this one, so I'm going to go over that. It's a very similar colour, actually. Very similar. So just going to go around the edges of my petals. And this one I tend to do both sides of the flower as well.
Hey Janice.
Oh, Janice on, is she?
Yeah. She's having the music.
Well, you can hear the music, can you? Hi Janice, how are you? Hi Nelly. Did you forget to pick up your order yesterday, Janice? From the shop. We'll be in next Monday anyway, if you wanted to pop up for it then. So just working my way around the edge of the petals.
Hey Roger. Hey Nelly.
Roger! So this does take a while to do, but it's a really nice, does give a really nice finish once you've got it all heated up. So that's my second of the larger petals, and then go around the edge again for the third. So is anyone crafting along with me today? Anyone already got their flower forming foam? I know there's a few people that have already got it. Oh, hi Alison. Oh, where's he gone? Come back. There we are.
We'll have fun with them, Alison.
Yeah, Alison bought all of the dies, the 3 flower dies from us yesterday. So we delivered those because she's only local, so we delivered those yesterday for her. So now you know how to make all these different flowers with all the different dies, so you'll have a whale of a time now.
Yeah, Janice, we're open on a Monday 10 till 12 for collections. And so all you do is beep outside and we'll bring the delivery out, put it on the steps and then close the door so that you can come up and get it. So just tell your daughter to let us know that it's for you. But that's from 10 till 12 on Monday. And that's what we're going to be doing every week.
Yeah, every Monday, 10 to 12, contactless pickup from the shop. While we still can.
It is mesmerising, Donna. It's lovely how they just transform and change. It's a transformer.
Transforming boom! So that's my first of my middle ones. So has everyone shared this Facebook Live? Oh, Alison, you've still got to work, have you? What do you do for a job? Are you a key worker? Who are you calling a robot, Donna? Yeah, so if everyone can share, just click on the little share button at the bottom and then share it on your timeline, or you can invite friends to watch. The more people that share it, the more the word spreads, more people know about it. Want to share the love? That's the reason we're doing it, just to give people something to do in the day. Helps to pass the time. Give you a bit of crafty motivation. Oh yes, far too young. Far too young. Ooh, Gwent Association of Voluntary Organisations. Is where Alison works. What's that then? Never heard of it. Oh, so that's my little baby one done. And once again, just for speed, I'm gonna colour my stamens in the same colour while I've got my ink still here. I could have done the white actually, because white is quite a nice, when you've coloured the flowers, sometimes white is a nice contrast as well. And I tend not to do realistic flowers, I tend to just do, because I'm useless with gardening and flowers and all that sort of stuff, so I tend to just do fantasy flowers. Much prefer that.
Don't forget to craft along on Friday.
Oh right.
And keep an eye on Facebook.
Oh, you are doing one, are you?
Craft along 2 o'clock Friday.
Well, apparently Ian is doing another craft along this Friday at 2 o'clock.
Using stencils, inks, distressing brushes, and you will also need
Well, we'll put a list on Facebook
all
anyway.
sorts, but keep an eye on Facebook.
Yeah, so craft along on Friday, 2 o'clock. We'll put a list of everything, of the tools.
your mum's on as well. Hiya, Mum.
Hello, Mum. How are you? Ooh, hang on. Right, what have we got? So Janice, how many flower dyes are there and how much? Well, we've got 3 different sets of flower dyes. We've got the peony, the daisy, and the rose. If you click on the link at the bottom of this Facebook Live, in the comments section, it will take you to the website, and all the prices are there, all the products are there, so you can place an order for store pickup really easily on there. Alison, Shane, we support small voluntary groups and recruit volunteers for them and look for... Oh, fabulous. Good stuff. Oh dear. Sorry to hear that, Mum. Wonder how she caught that then. But we've had some of our other customers. They've had coronavirus and they've got over it. So, you know, it's not a death sentence as long as people are careful and take it easy. I mean, every case is different, but oh, there we are. I'm starting to get ink all over my fingers now. It was bound to happen. Da 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 da. Have you made any more cheese scones, Mum? I could just do with one now. The postman still hasn't delivered your last batch, you know. I'm still waiting. Right, so what am I doing now? Right, engage brain. I'm distracted by cheese scones. So I'm going to start again with the smallest flower. And this time I'm not going to need my foam. I'm just going to use my petal distressing tools, which have got like a rough edge that way, and that's where you run across. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just use one of my tools, bring my iron back in again. My iron is lovely and clean, isn't it? Because we never use it. 1927, good grief. But it's difficult advertising, you know, it all costs money.
Shane's having problems getting onto our website.
Trying to get onto your website, having problems. What do you mean you're having problems? Have you clicked on the link? The link should work. Can you try the link, Ian? Is anyone else having problems with the website? So all I'm going to do with this one, instead of holding it on for a while, I'm just going to literally hold it on for a couple of seconds, if that. So just hold it on there, let it drop off, and then that's it. And then all you do, rather than shaping it, is you fold. This is a 5-petal one. So you fold the flower in half, like that. So those 2 petals and those 2 petals meet. Fold those together. And then this spare petal that's just hanging around, fold that onto the back like that. So you've got them all folded up like that. And then all you do is give it a bit of a pinch. So it's all scrunched up. Hold on to the base of your flower. I tend to hold it with my finger. Get my petal distressing tool, and then give this sort of the sort of 2/3 of the flower a really good rub, a vigorous rub. And don't worry, about damaging it. And then what will happen is it will distress all the petals, and it looks really nice. It gives it a really sort of realistic finish, because obviously petals aren't perfect, so it thins the foam out quite a lot and gives it a really nice finish. And don't worry about damaging the foam, because even if it does rip, I haven't ripped any yet, but even if it does rip, petals aren't perfect. So there we are. So that's my smallest one. Did you click on the link, Ian?
Yes, it works.
Oh, the link does work, so you should be able to just click on the link and it should take you to our website. If not, then just go to valleycraft.co.uk. A couple of seconds, drop it off, and then fold it in half, those two petals together, those two petals together. Fold those back on themselves, and then this spare petal here, just bring that in. So you've got all of the petals neatly folded together. Scrunch it up, put it onto your tool, and then give it a good old rub. There we are. So put some welly into it, don't worry about it. You need to give it a bit of welly for it to distress the petals. So that's my second one. 1, 2, knock it off. Fold this in half. Bring those together and fold the other petal in. Everyone see that okay? Scrunch it together, just hold the base down, and then give it a good rub. Do it a couple of times if you want. Yeah. So that's that one, and then same with my 3 bigger ones. So which is obviously going to be easier. So this, as you can see from this one, this is the big one. So then fold it in half and bring those 2 petals up to those 2 petals. Bring those in, and then the spare one, just bring that around. Scrunch this up. Hold down the bottom. There we are. You can hear from the tool that it is quite a vigorous technique. Yeah, so that's my biggest one. Oops. The only reason you need to put it on the iron is just to activate the foam, just to give it a bit of movement. There we are. So that's that one, and then my last one of those, couple of seconds, drop it off, fold those in. Which way should I do it? That way. Anyone got any questions? I was trying on my phone so I can carry on watching on my phone. What do you think of this technique then? Do you like this? What's your favourite technique? The bubble, the bud, or the distressed flower? There we are. So that's my flowers all suitably distressed, and I'm covered in pink ink, but no problem. There we are. So you can see that that was the opaque ink that I used on the edges of the petals. On the tips, you can really see how it's given a nice strong colour to the foam, but it also fades really naturally into the white. Really nice realistic technique that is. Right, so then now when I first did this, I did a bit of an experiment. I think, which one was it? Was it those two? Can't even tell now. Yes, I think it was those two. And there's two ways of finishing the flower off. You can either mould the petals, or you can just leave them as they are. So I think one of these, I think that one, I actually moulded the petals, so you can probably see from the back a bit better. You can see how it was rounded. So I just got my ball tool and I actually moulded each of the petals around the ball tool. And the heat from your fingers or your thumb, whatever, will help to shape it. So that one was done moulding them. So I think it does come out maybe a little bit fuller. And then, which one was it? No, it wasn't that one, was it? It was that one. And then that one, I didn't mould the petals. So that one came out like that. And I don't know if I use the same amount of petals on there anyway. Yeah, so you do get when you mould it, you do get a slightly fuller finish to the flower. But I'm just gonna stick them together like this, I think, and see what that looks like. So get my foam, my pokey tool, and then just stab right in the middle. It's my smallest one. Then get my medium size. Stab that in the middle. My second medium-sized one. And stab that. And then my largest ones. So that one. That one. And that one. Well. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Really nice. I do like that flower. Very natural looking. So then I'm just going to grab my stamens, get them all roughly the same length. Grab my paper clip and stick it roughly in the middle of the stamens. Hold them in one hand and then find the center of my petals and take my pokey tool out and then just slot that through the center. There we are. It pops out the back, and then you can just feed your stamens through the middle. And then just pull them through as far as you want them to go. Oh, white would have been nice actually, wouldn't it? Would have stood out really well. But there we are. There we are. So then just take your paper clip off the back. Hold my flower and then a bit of glue right around the very base of the flower. burn my fingers. And there we have it. So that's the distressed. I think that one I moulded as well, yeah. So the yellow one I moulded, and then the pink one I didn't. So there's not really much difference really, is there? What does everyone think? Do you like? My mum says distressed. Does that mean you're distressed? Or are you talking about my distressing technique? When will we be getting the watercolour blending pens? Set 3 is the next set that will be coming out. And I think that Phil said that the next set won't be out for about another 6 weeks. Hello Jane, how are you? Because they bring out, with the watercolour pens, they bring out, Phil is bringing out one set every sort of, I think it's every quarter, something like that. It's going to be 4 sets in total. So we've already had 2 sets, and the next set isn't going to be out for another 6 weeks, I think, 5 or 6 weeks. And I don't know if we can get any more of set 2 now anyway. We have just ordered some, but I think the stocks are dwindling quite a lot. And then Alison says they all look really different, surprising how rough they... Exactly, you need to be really rough with it to get that sort of finish. If you're too delicate, then it's not going to quite work. So give it a good... Release some of your tension on your petals. And it's surprising how many different flowers you can make with just changing the number of petals, changing the technique, changing the colours that you're using. You know, because I've used different colours, different stamen colours. You know, there's just, all sorts of different things you can do. And then Wendy's asking, do you sell those pads that you just used? Which pads are those, Wendy? Is it the Distress Petal tool? Because if so, we do. And if you click on the link at the bottom, that should take you to our website, and they should be on there. If it's this pad, then this is from the moulding tool set, which is also on the website. So let me know if that's what you're on about, and if not, give me a clue. Ooh, what on earth is scabiosa? Is that a horticultural term? What's time? 12:30. Good grief, time flies, doesn't it? Right, so... So I've shown you the 3 different techniques. What I might do is a rose. It's exactly the same technique depending on whether you're using the rose, the peony or the daisy. The only thing about the daisy is you do get a bit of a different finish. This is... Yeah, this one I actually did with this sort of technique, so the bubble technique. This one I actually did, I just experimented a bit, and instead of putting the layers all the same way, I put one layer back and then one layer forwards, so you can sort of see that some of the petals are lifting up and some of the petals are going down. So that's what gave the technique in that. And then this one, if it would stay there, this one I just used literally the largest petal and then the smallest petal. or smallest flower, and just pop those together, and that just gave a nice little simple flower. And then this one was obviously the distressed look, which gives a really sort of straggly flower with all the different petals, which came out really nicely actually. I like that. And I think on that one I actually put some of the pearl gilding polish on that, as on the stamens, so it gave those a bit of a pearlescent finish. There we are. So right, so I'm gonna do some of the rose. So I'm gonna do small, medium and large, as I did before, which gave us that flower. And I'm going to colour them pink as well. Should we do a pink rose? What colour is this? Oh, this is pink tulip. I love tulips. So I'm going to colour these, and I just need to colour the one side. I could use pink flower forming foam if I wanted. But this just shows you that if you've only got white, you can colour it any colour you want. It gives it a nice finish as well. I think it gives it a more of a realistic texture. Ian's playing 50s music in the background, I think. I'm sure he was born in the 50s, you know. So that's those three. And then I'm also going to do another big one and another medium one, because I'm going to do this sort of flower, but I'm not going to bother doing the smallest bit. I'm just going to do, if I had a couple more I might be able to do some more, but I haven't got any more cut, so I'll see how these look. I can always add some more afterwards. Colour these petals. Alison likes your music, Ian. Ah, right, Scabiosa is a flower, is it? Comes in pinks and purples with ragged petals. Ah. Well, well, well. I never knew that. So that's that one, and then this is a lovely colour, this pink as well. It's really soft. It does coat lovely on the flower forming foam. It's almost like they planned it. There we are. So that's that. And then I think I might use a different colour for my stamens. do my stamens now or after? I'll do them after, I think. Let's clear that away. Right, so I'm going to get my foam and I'm going to start off doing the buds again. So I'll get my 3 ball tools, my 3 biggest ones, start off with my smallest one, and then I want the colour on the outside, so get the iron back in again. So the colour stays on the outside, so it goes on the iron that side. Heat that up and let it drop off. Pop it onto my piece of foam and then give that a squidge. Let it cool. Oh, so that's that one. Get my middle one. Couple of seconds, let it drop off. That's more or less shaped. Get my middle tool. There we are. So that's my cup shape. So that's the middle one. My biggest ball tool and pop that on the mat and then shape that. And you can lift it up as well and give it a bit more shaping if you want, or just leave it on the table. Well, so that's my 3 buds, and then with these I'm going to I usually tend to use the middle out of the 3, and then I tend to use the smaller end as my pushy in thing. So this is going to be the bubble technique. So again, colour side out, put it onto there, bring it onto my mat, make sure my petals are all in the right place, and then squash that down, colour side up. Okay. Same with the bigger one. Anyone got any questions? Anyone want to see anything else again? Anything you're not sure about? So that's my larger one. I'll see how that goes. I might have some more petals. Get a pokey tool. So start with the smallest bud. Poke that through there. My second bud. Poke that through there and pop those petals in there. And then my third bud. Stick that through there. Looks nice, doesn't it? Maybe I should have coloured the inside pink. I don't know. That looks nice. And then that's one of those. And then the bigger one. Oh, I don't know. I could do with another bigger one. I feel another bigger one coming on. So let me grab sheet of the white, because I haven't got quite enough there. Right, so as I said before, if anyone has missed that, but you get your A4 sheet, fold it in half, and then fold that in half again, like that. Put it on my cutting mat, and get my largest die. I've got loads of the small ones. I might cut some of the medium-sized ones as well. Just put that through my machine. So there's my flowers, and I've got room to do some more then later on. So then I'll just leave those aside for the moment. Just separate these ones out. My 4 layers. This one's going to be awkward now. Come on. Yep. So then I'm just going to grab one of those and then colour that in my pink tulip. What colour stamens do you think I should use? Do you think just white or go for a contrasting colour? What do you think, guys? Yeah, I don't want to do the same colour. I want to do something different. So either white or a contrasting colour. Any suggestions? Yeah, I'm sure you could use glossy accents afterwards. There's no reason why not. You could make some nice dewdrops on your flowers. Right, so this is my biggest one, so I got my biggest ball tool, which is the biggest one, isn't it? And this is going to be another back layer, so just on the iron, bring it off, open it up on my foam, and then squash it down. Oh, green, Dawn says. Alison says blue or lilac. Ooh. Depends on what colours I've got, really. Well, I suppose. Ooh, what about green? Do you think green would be nice? I've got a grasshopper opaque ink pad here. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so that's that one done. So then all I'm going to do is headbutt the camera, and then I'm going to pierce that in the middle there, and it just gives that flower a bit more of a fullness. That looks really nice actually. Ooh, I'm liking that. I don't know if green will be alright with that. Blue or lilac? Have I got a lilac pen? What colours have I got? I've got hydrangea. Ooh, I think I might go for hydrangea actually. So this is using the Tri-Blend pens, but you can use any alcohol-based marker pen. I think I used, was that on that one? No, I think it was on that one I used that colour. Yeah, so well that'll be nice. Yeah, so with this, takes a little bit more time, and then you just have to colour the ends of your stamens in. With your pen. And make sure that you get the tip as well, because there always seems to be that little bit at the very tip that I end up missing. And try not to get my head in the camera as well. There we are. That's one. Oh, Wendy said burnt orange. That would be a nice one as well, wouldn't it?
You can actually use the watercolour pens to colour the stamens too.
But I'm going with the hydrangea colour here as well. Yeah, because you could use the watercolour pens to colour these. You could, if you really wanted to, you could probably heat emboss them as well. So you could put embossing powders on if you wanted to give them a nice gilded finish. Or so, some of the twinkling embossing powders. Phil Martin does some really nice twinkling embossing powders. I might have to try one of those actually. So if you were going to emboss, use embossing powders, all you'd have to do is just either use a watermarking pad, so either the Spectrum Noir one that we sell, or Versamark, Perfect Medium, anything like that, and then just apply it as you would your normal ink. Or if you've got one of the pen forms, so the Versamark pen or Perfect Medium pen or any type of embossing pen, you could just paint the embossing ink on and then sprinkle your embossing powder onto it and then heat it. Don't know what the tips of these are actually made of, but I think it's probably just like a hard glue or something, or a mix of glue and something else. So I wouldn't have thought they would melt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do one more. See, so this does take a little bit longer to colour them in with your pens. But it does mean that you've then got if you've got any of the alcohol pens or watercolour pens or anything like that, then you've got so many different options. Oh, so that's those. Wipe some of that off so it's not going to mark anything. Right, so so there's my Stamens. Get them all sort of roughly the same length. Slot my paper clip over, find the middle and then just fold those in half, scrunch them together, hold that in my right hand and then take my flowers off, find the center and then make sure that that's supported and then put the paper clip through the hole. Pull my stamens through. Until they pop through the other side. Don't want to pull it too far down. That'll do, I think. So then take my paper clip off the back. A bit of glue on the base. Just to hold it there. And because you put glue on the base, it means that if you do need to if you want to put these onto a card, then if you put the glue in right at the base, it means that you can cut off any of the excess stamen so that it'll go flat on your card. Or if you wanted to make it into a bouquet, a 3D bouquet, anything like that, then you can add a bit of wire to it if you wanted to either feed it through to give it some extra length, or use the glue gun to stick a bit of wire onto the back, and then you can make that into a nice bouquet of flowers. Well, so that's my rose. So that's more of a finished rose shape, isn't it? So that's using the two different techniques, the bubble flower technique and then the bud technique, and combining the two to make that flower. Do we like? It's nice with the purple, isn't it? We are. So that is just using one of the dies. So that's just using the rose die set. So there's loads of different flowers you can make just using the rose die set. So these ones are all from that set. And then you've got the daisy one, which all of these flowers were made from. Same sort of techniques. And then these last flowers were all made using the peony. So you can have hours of fun doing all sorts of different shapes, different stamens, colouring your foam in different ways. Any questions before we finish? Hi, Carrie Ann. Anyone got anything that they want to know before we finish and I go and have my lunch? We are expecting a Sentimentally Yours order in tomorrow from Phil Martin, so anyone that's ordered any of his new life quote stamps or the flower dies, Donna, they're due in tomorrow. And we've ordered the Crafter's Companion opaque ink pads, so they're all going to be coming in sometime soon. So as soon as they're available, they'll all be on the website as well. Glad you enjoyed, Janice. Yep, go and have a play, Alison, and send us any finished flowers that you've done, any creations, send them to us, and we'll be happy to share them on our Facebook page. You're welcome, Donna. Glad you enjoyed it, Alison. Thank you, Wendy. Nice to see you. Right, well, in that case, I shall say goodbye. Ian is going to be doing a craft along this Friday from 2 o'clock. So as soon as we've got any more details about that, we'll put it on our Facebook page. So there'll be a list of different products that you can use, and if you haven't got any of those, I'm sure they'll be available on our website. We don't do pin flare, Alison. We do the Crafter's Companion 3D glue gel, the Kalau 3D glue gel. And I think we've got some in stock at the moment. And it's, we prefer it. It's more or less exactly the same. It's slightly clearer than the pin flare. I think it's cheaper and, or less expensive, as they say. It comes with a syringe and a key thingy, what's it, tool. Yeah, so we prefer that. So that's the Kalau 3D glue gel. Glad you enjoyed it, Donna. Okie doke, everyone. Well, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the sun if you're going to be sitting out in the garden, sunning yourself. And keep safe. And keep socially distancing. Ian says goodbye as well. And we shall see you all again very soon. Alright, take care. Love you all. Bye.